feel that this environment is for anybody that wants to try something new. Whether it is CrossFit or powerlifting, we offer a safe space for someone who's never been athletically inclined to try something that they've never done before.
When our political forefathers and foremothers laid the foundation for the Commonwealth, they dreamed of greater opportunities for our people.
In 1975, when nearly 80% of the people voted for Commonwealth, they too dreamed for a better life, for themselves and their children.
Nearly 50 years after the election of hope, we have forgotten how to dream like our ancestors did.
They dreamed of taking pride in being self-governing under the stars and stripes.
They dreamed of new opportunities to make a life in these beautiful islands. Today, abandoned buildings remind us of foreign investors who rushed in to make a quick buck, who then left us with empty buildings, monuments to forgotten promises.
We feel shame for a Commonwealth administration that's being investigated for corruption.
If we are to be the islands of hope and opportunity that our forefathers dreamed of, if we are to regain our pride in being self-governing under the stars and stripes, we need to be courageous enough to dream again. In the coming weeks, we will share with you our dreams for our beautiful islands. My running mate, Layla Fleming Staffler, and I will also share with you our plans to turn those dreams into reality. Layla and I invite you to make this journey with us.
We humbly ask for your vote. Let's make our collective dreams a reality in the Sablon Staffler administration.
By doing so, we will bring back pride in our Marianas.
This message is approved and paid for by the committee to elect Christina Sablon and Layla Staffler.
I remember Saipan, that's where my heart belongs.
As a defense attorney, I've represented many people who, if they weren't poor or they had received a higher education, may have taken a different path. As senator, I will propose a scholarship for those whose struggles are less academic and more financial. Let's keep our university full, not our prison. I'm Thomas Fisher. I not only approved this message, I wrote it.
Paid for by Tom for Guam, Drake Diaz, Treasurer.
Today and welcome to Kandit News Daily Crime Report. I'm Johnny Rosario.
And I'm Troy Torres.
It is July 26th.
It's Tuesday, July 26th.
Yeah.
Can I just say, like, if I ever run for office,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, and I won't, but if I ever run for office, I'm gonna do that Tom Fisher thing. I'm gonna be like, I'm Troy Torres, and not only do I approve this message, I wrote the thing.
Well, I'll be the HBIC, of course.
Got it.
Okay?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
We're just going to go through some announcements. There is a spay and neuter program happening August 3rd. That's a Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. at Gain in Jigo.
Oh, it's sponsored by TECO.
Yeah, Taipei Economic and Cultural Office.
That's very cool of them.
Yeah, so bring your dogs. I don't think you call and make an appointment. You just bring them between 3 and 4 p.m. on August 3rd. We'll keep mentioning this so people don't forget. Please bring your animals there. It's free.
I need to spay my dog and my cat because they're both hoes. They're just...
Yeah, I don't, my Libra is not touched. I don't want her touched.
I don't think she'll ever allow a dog to touch her. Yeah,
I know that.
She's very
She,
violent, that one.
Flips out. Last week, I'm walking her, and right when we turn the corner, my phone flies out of my hand, and it's a little tiny dog. I'm like, Libra, you're gonna eat the dog. You're gonna eat the dog.
Boo's watching.
Hi, honey. Okay, one more. A family needs help. What happened was, his name is Matthew Rosario, and he was involved in a hit and run, and they have not found the person that hit him.
Oh, someone was just asking about this.
Yeah.
This happened on Guam, right?
Yes, on July 16, a hit and run accident. It says, Hoffaday, friends and family, with a heavy heart, I create this page for my brother, who was tragically taken from his family in a hit and run accident on July 16, 2022. Wow. So the family needs help burying him. So if you can go to Alicia Torrains or search for Matthew Rosario, and I'm pretty sure it'll pop up. Any amount will help the family.
This is to defray their funeral costs?
Yes.
Probably, right?
Yes.
Wow. That's so. How old is he? He looks so young.
It doesn't say. They didn't leave any other.
That's too sad. That's so sad. We went to a funeral today for Arla Subitang, and that was very sad.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I saw a friend that I haven't seen in years, since middle school. Yeah, it was really sad. I'm so sorry, Lila. Okay, let's get into it. Our first one is, what is his name? Sky Jung. No, you're next.
Oh, okay.
On or about July 26, police responded to a disturbance in Derrida. Police arrived and met with, who explained that on the evening prior, she observed her neighbor fired 2 shots into the air while standing outside his front door. The person identified the firearm as a gray pistol. They also told police she observed the neighbor exit his front door and fire 2 additional shots into the air. Police identified the neighbor as Sky Jung. Defendant told police that his neighbor is a liar and that he only shot 2 times. Police indicated defendant does have a firearm identification, but did not have any firearms registered. Police confiscated 1 or more firearms from within the defendant's residence. Based on the foregoing, he is being charged with unlawful discharge of a firearm. I only did 2, not the 4, Humby.
Am I doing the next one?
Yes, you are.
Okay. This one is another one of Alicia Kanata's boyfriends. On or about January 20 of this year at approximately 4:45 p.m., Guam police officers entertained a walk-in complaint from Simichi Edmund, an employee from Andy's Rent-A-Car. Edmund told the officers that Nicholas Jr. Rowland told him that the vehicle he had borrowed from the business, which is a 2020 blue Mitsubishi Mirage G4, would not be returned on time because Rowland's cousin, Stanley Ray Lador, the defendant, borrowed the car and had not returned it to Rowland. The car had been rented on November 22, 2021, and was due to be returned on December 9 that year. Rowland and the defendant were to meet at the business on December 20, but the defendant and the vehicle did not appear on that date. The report indicates that when police asked the defendant about the above-mentioned vehicle, the defendant stated that he gave the vehicle to his friend Mark because the defendant owed Mark money. And take it because it's yours. At the time of this report, the vehicle has not been located. On or about July 24, 2022, just a few days ago, at approximately 10:30 p.m., Guam police officers responded to a disturbance at a residence in Dededo. The victim reported that the defendant, her boyfriend, had struck her face several times. The report indicates that the victim and the defendant reside at the same residence. Earlier that night, the victim and the defendant, Mr. Lador, had an argument. During that argument, the defendant punched the victim's face approximately 3 times. The victim ran away from the defendant, and the defendant followed her. The victim used a cooler to fend off his attack, but Lador pushed her against the wall. The victim again ran away from Lador, and Lador chased her. Lador caught up to her, punched her head and facial area approximately 5 times. The victim was later able to get away from Lador. Lador was later located and had a strong odor of intoxicating beverage from his person. He was charged with second-degree felony theft of an automobile and misdemeanor family violence.
Foreigner Emmanuel. On or about July 25th, officers were dispatched to the Assen Mayor's office. The reporting person told officers that he was stopped by a male later identified as the defendant, Foreigner Emmanuel, who was asking for a lighter. When the reporting person said that he did not have a lighter, the defendant became angry and started calling the person names. The defendant harassed staff members on scene. The reporting person told officers that the defendant had flipped trash cans over and threw trash on the ground. Officers also located an office desk that was flipped over and had broken metal drawers. The value of the desk is approximately $500. The defendant admitted to damaging the desk. Other officers on scene located the defendant, who was attempting to kick the victim. Officers informed the defendant that he was under arrest and to place his hands behind his back. The defendant refused and eventually kicked Officer Valles on his left leg. Officers noted that a strong odor of intoxicating beverage was emanating from the defendant. When officers restrained the defendant and placed him in the rear seat of the patrol vehicle, he continued kicking and hit Officer Gabutuin's right knee area. Based on the foregoing, assault against a peace officer, 1 count of assault, 1 count of criminal mischief, and 1 count of resisting arrest, and 1 count of public drunkenness.
All for a lighter. Like,
give the guy a lighter.
Give the guy a lighter. Come on. Did you really not have a lighter, victim? I'm just kidding around.
Well,
Joe Cruz says, my friend traded 6 empanada for meth. Quote me on that.
I believe it. I believe it. It's so cheap now that you can get that.
Dude,
yeah.
All the money we paid before. And now that the economy is bad, meth is cheap. Groceries are expensive.
Very expensive.
Mary Damien, good morning or good afternoon. Our sister, she says hi to both of us.
Hi.
Hi, Carl Blas. Hi, Mike Rios. Boo's watching.
Hi, honey.
Half a day, my pui pui Temaichin, who is following us from Utah. Auntie Eva Akima says Davida, mom and daughters lifted 590 pounds. Oh, that's a lot of weight. That's. I was just celebrating 425 today.
Anything on the legislature, or did they go into recess? Anything on the 500 for power, or what?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked. There are some things that were sent to me today from the legislature that I'll eventually get to.
Okay.
Today's been a heavy news day. Gas prices went down. Yeah, 15 cents. Good thing because I'm on empty, so I'm going to head over to 76, gas my car. And
don't forget, at 76, if you have a premium or if you have the gym membership, I
think gym member Paradise. If you have Stay Well, if you have Take Care, Select Care, you get the discount on the per gallon of gas.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, if you get premium gas and you present, or you don't even have to present it. Actually, you just tell them that you have Paradise or you have Stay Well or Take Care, whatever it is, right? you get 25 cents off a gallon of gas,
Nice.
which really, really helps.
Yes.
So if you're getting premium, which is now, what is it, 584? That goes down to what?
564.
559?
559.
Goes down
Yeah.
to 559, I think. I might be doing the math wrong.
No, you're correct.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Those are those are Guam's court cases that were filed in Superior Court today.
Oh, Checha Dizelle says half a day from Arizona. Half a day.
Hi, Arizona.
Nikita Phil says Buenos Guam.
Mm-hmm.
KLB Guame. Yes, his first name is Foreigner, right?
Yeah.
Last name is
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. That's actually a pretty cool name. Foreigner? I've never heard that before. Except for the whole lighter thing. Probably not a good.
What do you think he was gonna light?
Probably.
Huh? What do you think he wanted to light?
Did he ask for maybe he asked for a low flame lighter and nobody
Everybody
had
had a
one.
Bic.
Everyone had a Bic. Yeah. Do we have any sex?
We do, but
crime
I'm gonna
stuff?
get that into that tomorrow. There's 99 in Dedido, so I need to break it down.
What area has the
All
largest
over.
amount? I remember doing this before, and I remember seeing a lot at
In
League
one-
One Terrace.
yes, in
like
one
there's
area.
a lot in League
Yeah.
One, and concentrated in the segment of League One right behind the mall.
Yeah. Well, this one, I believe Agate had an apartment complex that had a couple of them in there.
Oh, it was like sex crimes apartment complex.
Yes. Yeah.
Unit what?
Yeah. C4 and D2. Thank you for joining us. Please be careful out there. It is wet. And also, if you go to the NWS Facebook page, there's some weird weather going on around Guam. It's really interesting. And their weather system is down. So if you got pictures of it, please send it over to
NWS.
Yeah, NWS.
Oh wait, there is Eric finished the montage of from Arla Sibitang's funeral, so
Okay.
I do want to play that tomorrow morning, but I think we should play it now in case anybody wants to see it. Ole, are you ready for that? Here's a glimpse into what happened earlier today at Arla Sibitang's funeral at Guam Memorial Park in Barragata.
The Jones Act is a 1920 law justified on national security grounds as a means to bolster the U.S. maritime industry. It restricts domestic shipping to vessels that are U.S. built, U.S. owned, U.S. flagged, and U.S. crewed. However, this law boosts cost by banning foreigners from competing and forcing Americans to purchase ships that are up to 8 times more expensive than those built in other countries. The result is higher transportation costs. Shipping oil from Texas to the Northeast, for example, costs 3 times more than importing oil from Africa. Ultimately, consumers foot the bill. In addition, higher shipping costs push freight from ships onto other sources of transportation, such as trucks, which means more traffic and pollution. Meanwhile, this blatant protectionism has failed to benefit builders of ships in the U.S., whose production is less than 1% of those in China and South Korea. Domestic builders have seen over 300 shipyards close since the early 1980s. Jones Act defenders claim the law ensures adequate U.S. ships during times of war, but during U.S. deployments during Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm, foreign flagged commercial ships carried twice as much equipment as their U.S. counterparts. In fact, the U.S. was so desperate for shipping that it twice requested the use of a cargo ship from Moscow. Both requests were denied. So the Jones Act has failed to achieve its shipbuilding and national security goals while driving up costs for consumers. It's time for this outdated, costly, and ineffective law to be repealed. It's time to end the Jones Act.